Good morning, welcome. My name is Sarah and this is just for today. All right, we have July 2nd, comparing. Our personal stories may vary in individual pattern, but in the end, we all have the same thing in common. We addicts are a varied bunch, coming from different backgrounds, having used different drugs, and recalling different experiences. Our differences don't disappear in recovery. For some reason, those differences become even more pronounced. Freedom from active addiction gives us the freedom to be ourselves, as we truly are. The fact that we are all recovering doesn't mean that we all necessarily have the same needs or goals. Each of us has our own lessons to learn in recovery. With so many differences from one addict to the next, how do we help one another in recovery, and how do we use each other's experience? We come together to share our lives in light of the principles of recovery. Though our lives are different, the spiritual principles we apply are the same. It is by the light of these principles, shining through our differences, that we illuminate one another's way on our individual paths. We all have two things in common: addiction and recovery. When we listen carefully, we hear others tell of suffering from the same disease we have suffered from, regardless of their specific backgrounds. When we open our ears, we hear other addicts talk of applying spiritual principles that promise hope to us as well, regardless of our personal goals. Just for today, I have my own path to follow. Yet, I'm grateful for the fellowship of others who've suffered from addiction and who are learning to apply the principles of recovery just like me. There are all different kinds of people in the rooms. All are educated in one way or another. Some paid for their education and others were educated through lived experience. Either way, we can all learn from each other. I'll never forget the time I picked a meeting nearby, and as I looked around the room, I saw my doctor there. She too was in her home group. We smiled at each other, and in that moment, I found comfort knowing that in that very moment, in that room, she and I were equals. We were both there for the same reason. You see, the outpatient facility that I had been referred to hired employees that were also in recovery. I had never seen anything like it. The doctors, the therapists, the peers, the receptionists, all of the employees were all in recovery. It was beautiful. It was opened by a Dr. Thompson, who, like us, was also in recovery. I saw hope every time I walked into the building. It was great. I felt like I was looking at my own future somehow. It was totally weird. I aspired to be like these people. It was absolutely beautiful. It was mind-blowing to me, it really was. I could see with my own eyes how good my life can be, and I wanted it. And that's all it took. I graduated from that program. And I was actually offered a job at one point, but because it hadn't been 3 years since I had been a patient, I couldn't accept it. All right, that's besides the point. That's all I got for you guys today. All right, guys, until tomorrow, be strong, stay safe. Peace and love.